It's member-supported Hawaii Public Radio, all things considered, HPR1, and I'm Dave Lawrence. Legendary group The Beach Boys celebrating 50 years of music through a reunion album and tour with founder Brian Wilson. We were fortunate enough in 2010 to speak with Brian Wilson, but then again, we were lucky enough to get to speak to him again just the other day as they tour for That's Why God Made the Radio, new record, and we catch up with him during a break in their world tour.
Aloha to you and aloha to your listeners.
Right back at you, and congratulations on the Beach Boys reunion album and tour. What led to this thing? Thank you so much for taking time during the midst of it.
Michael Love asked me if I'd like to do a 50th anniversary tour with him. Last year he asked me. I said, sure. We practiced, we got together, rehearsed, got all our songs rehearsed and everything.
The record or the tour, which are you more passionate about?
Both.
How does the tour go when you're around each other?
The tour goes good. We're around. We all play together for each other, you know.
How much time had you been spending together with the other guys when you weren't as a part of the Beach Boys?
Very little.
It's kind of fresh again to do this.
Yeah, right.
When it comes to the material, Brian, when did you start writing it?
About 14 years ago. Wrote about 8 things 14 years ago, then we wrote 4 things just this year.
There are 12 tunes on the record. How many are actually getting played at the shows?
2. That's Why God Made the Radio and Isn't It Time. They're good tunes.
They are. Let's talk about the album. It opens with a short, reflective piece, Think About the Days, and then it almost bookends, Brian, with another reflective one, Summer's Gone. What were the life experiences that inspired these?
Well, we were trying to get the fact that the fun's over, summer's gone, now we've got to go back to school, you know? That's all we meant. They were all fun to record. We had a kick recording them.
How long did it take to actually do the record?
It took about 3 months.
Did you pick out all the people who would come in to play the unique instrumentation?
That's my solo band did.
And then the guys just came in and sang?
Right.
Mike's listed as the executive producer on it.
Executive producer is somebody who consults with the producer. It's more like a team, you know. It's not that the executive producer is any higher than a producer.
Sure.
It's just somebody that bounces ideas off each other.
Is there something special about when you sing with Mike, Brian?
Well, we both have good voices, you know.
Do you ever have to talk about how it's going to be, or do you just hit it and roll?
We just hit it and roll. We just tackle it, you know, and nail it.
How about the other guys? Is there ever amount of direction where you have to tell them precisely what you want?
Yeah, I had to teach each guy separately, and then we try it all together. But each guy has to be taught separately, then all 5 of the guys sing together.
How long of a process does that take when you're one-on-one with them?
It takes about an hour and a half.
Once, or you do it over and over?
Over and over.
Goes on for weeks, months?
A couple months, yeah. Mike did it. His rendition was fantastic.
In 2010, we talked with Brian when he released his last album, Reimagines Gershwin. And on the note of working with the Beach Boys in the studio, he told me about the session for a Beach Boys classic that used an unusual instrument, the theremin. It's the story of good vibrations.
Well, believe it or not, my brother Carl said, why don't we use a cello and a theremin? I said, what? He goes, in the I'm picking up good. In that he goes, why don't we call a theremin player and a cello player from the union and have them come down to the studio and work with us? So that's what we did, and they wound up being a really good part of the signature of Good Vibrations. It was Michael's idea to come in with I'm picking up good vibrations. I wrote a piano chorus that went ba 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 ba, and he took that melody ba 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 and turned it into I'm picking up good vibrations. It was quite a coincidence that he could actually do that.
And it's a great message, too. You give off good vibrations, you get them back, yeah?
That's right. The smile you send out returns to you.
And it sort of goes with the vibe of the original rock that I know you loved and grew up with, people like Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry is part and parcel of very many of our rock and roll songs. He literally taught me how to write rock and roll melodies. I met him one time in Kona about 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
He was on an airplane that I was on, headed to Kona. I said, hey, Chuck, are you Chuck Berry? He goes, hey, and then he turned his head away, and he stopped talking. And I said, well, looks like Chuck is in the mood to talk to me. but I wanted to tell him how much his music meant to me, but I didn't get a chance to. I just went back to my seat, and that was it.
That guy is really, would you...
Oh, just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. The way he does that with such spirit and soul and energy and love, he just puts everything into it.
So it isn't just the sound of the music, huh? It's what you just said. It's the energy in his spirit that had an impact, too.
Right, that's exactly, and that's what Good Vibration did, had its spirit and energy.
Well, Good Vibration seems like a good note to leave it on. Brian, thanks for talking again.
Hey, well, thank you for the interview. I appreciate the time.
I'm picking up